Hello, everybody. It's me again, Catrice Horsley, who's been doing the Vavavoom Your Zoom series. As you can see, I've got a slightly different setup at the moment, and that's because I'm rehearsing for an online performance. So this is not to do with training, but more to do with a performance setup for anybody who's involved with storytelling. And one of the first things I wanted to show you was my setup. So I'm going to share my screen and you will see the chaos that is behind this computer. So I'll just do that now. And what we have here, I'll make that larger, is reflections. So it's always better to have a light reflected upon you than have a direct light in your eyes when you're performing. And one of the things that I found is really good, and you'll see it there, is these things that you cover your clothes with. So you don't have to go out and buy expensive stuff. You can very easily kind of be creative with what you have around the house. So that is on my right hand side, and then I have this on my left hand side. So there's another one hanging down on the wall, and luckily the wall is pretty white, so that's being reflected back onto me as well. Now comes the very inventive part. Here is my computer setup. It is a computer table balanced on a tray, balanced on two yoga blocks, balanced on my dog's food, and balanced on a table. So very, very creative indeed. I'm back. Hello. The other thing that I wanted to show you, and lighting is so important when we're doing this, is the difference between the direct light and the reflected light. So I'm just going to change this light on my right, so it's shining directly on me, and you'll be quite amazed, I think, at the difference. Hold on. It's quite atmospheric. It's quite spooky, but perhaps it's not quite what I want because it's wincing in my eye. And you'll see the one side of my face is a lot brighter than the other side of my face. And even if I get closer to you, you'll see the light is more in this eye than it is in this eye. So it's quite hard to, you've got this big shadow here as well. It's quite hard to perform because a lot of the time I'm wincing at that light. I'm going to change it back. And there we have that reflected light, which is a bit more balanced. If I'm doing work meetings, then I will use, I'm just going behind my backdrop, I will use something like this, just on the desk behind the computer, and I actually shine my light on that, and that's reflected again back in my face, so I'm not wincing. And one of the reasons I'm telling you this is, especially if you're working a lot at your computer, is you get eye fatigue. So anything that you can do to help protect your eyes and relax your eyes, you should be doing. One of the best things to do if you're working the whole time at your computer is adjust your vision from looking at the camera, which I'm doing now, and then looking long distance, and then close distance camera or screen, and long distance, because your eye muscles are not used to looking at one distance for such prolonged periods of time. So even if you're looking up into the corner of the room and then back, that helps relax those muscles, and they can kind of stretch themselves out and then contract again to be focused on this short distance here, which is about a meter. For performance, I always like to stand because it gives me this little bit more movement. I can step back, so you have more of my hands, and I can come up. And I love, again, if the camera's a little bit higher than me, I love coming up towards you and then going away. I love that movement. And if you listen to my other Vavavoons, you'll know that this conspiratorial thing makes us much closer to our audience, because our audience is just one person. It's never a group. It's each person in their rooms or their homes listening to us. We are not performing to a big audience, a big stage. So the other thing that you can do is use things like, he was a small boy and he grew bigger, and then he grew into a strapping young man, a very strapping young man. Do you see what I did with my eyes there? I'm using that eye line, but I'm very close to you, like we are next to each other, and I'm giving you the wink. So, to summarize, reflected light is really much better because it hurts your eyes less. Alter short vision and long vision. Have a setup that gives a very neutral background, nothing too busy. You want people to be looking at you. If you want, it's my personal preference, I know, have that camera a little bit higher. You have to remember I'm only 1.52 meters, so I'm used to looking up at people. Have the camera a little bit higher, and remember, it's just one person that you're talking to, so you can get very close and intimate with them. There you go. I hope that was useful, and I hope that was helpful. Bye-bye for now. Here comes the little uncomfortable bit where I'm just moving the cursor towards the button that says end and pressing it, and then just carefully looking at the button that says end meeting for all. So that's all of us ending together.